So today, for my very first video, we're going to unbox something. So everybody has to start somewhere, and I guess we'll start in a box. Why the upside down of the box? Well, because I don't need to broadcast my address to the world. It's good enough to open or travel on one side. It's actually protected. Let's see what we have in here. More boxes. We have this. This is going to be a lovely meal. Some of these. This. Two of those. Then we have this. Now, why do we have all this stuff? Well, this is a Blackmagic micro cinema camera. Right now I have a Rokinon lens on it, and this is the Blackmagic Video Assist. And of course, this was my elaborate rig. I found it sorely lacking, although inexpensive, to really give me what I needed. I want to take this and I want to improve the quality of it, but I want to keep it as compact as I can. We'll see where we're going to start with this. Since it's all centered around the camera, and I think this is where I want to start. Okay, what's in the box? This is what's in the box. And this is a camera cage. So a lot of times, whether you're shooting DSLR or other things, it's always good to have a little bit of protection, and this provides additional mounting options. So essentially everything that I build is going to be based on this. Excellent. Now what makes this special? Well, it's made specifically for the Blackmagic Micro Cinema camera. Essentially, you notice all the mounting options it now gives, whereas before, let me show you just for perspective. Well, it is nice. It's got a nice 1/4-20 mount hole here, right? On the bottom it has 3 1/4-20, so it's got lots of options on own. But, and well, this is solid. It's kind of plasticky, and well, I'd rather protect it now. And this runs right around $9.99, and this runs about $80 to $90. So this is a 10% relative investment to hopefully really protect this. And here is how easy it is to load up. That's it. Now of course it adds a little considerable amount of size to it, but protects up front, frames up nicely, gives you some 1/4 as well as some 3/8 mount holes. This is actually a NATO rail on this side. So this is the foundation. This is the foundation for everything. So let's see how we make this work. I'm going to take the lens off. It uses a micro 4/3. Close this up for safety. Go. Tap on my lens. So, how does this fit in? Let's use this box to drop it on. And let's clear this other stuff out the way. It's going to work here. So here we are again. Hopefully this is a better angle. So here's Blackmagic Micro Cinema. This is our cage, and so the features of this cage, of course, not only the 1/4 and 3/8 mount holes that it offers, but also the NATO rail on the side, and of course 2 cold shoe mounts. I'm going to see why I chose this and not too long. It also, interestingly, has these threaded holes on the back. So, but first things first, it needs to be mounted in here. So we simply align the mount holes, which it kind of seats in. They provide the screws and our Allen wrench. get that lined up. Snuggish. And then we'll go to the bottom. Just down in there. At some point, I'm probably going to take all of this apart. Just to make sure that it's not being suspended. This thing is a solid block, and notice it doesn't come out too far. You can still get to your body cap. You still have access to all your ports, your battery, including the cutout for the latch, just everything over here. Now the question is, how do we do more than that? Well, the next thing is these SmallRig cold shoes. Now I've got two. Why would I want more? Well, I've got a theory. So here is cold shoe. Again, comes with tools, and this is really nice. All right, and there's our cold shoe. That is our cold shoe. And this one has a nice little slot, so you don't have to mount it straight on. You can actually offset it. And if you'll notice, this offset should fit in with 3 holes right there. Or it can be mounted directly in. Now if I mount it directly, I'd probably do something like this, but where am I going with this? Well, I'm going to test this out and see. And I'm doing this all built based on how I conceived it in my mind when I was cruising around Amazon. Now there are these. Here's one thing that I thought of, is that I could mount it either here, or here, or even here. So let's just do that. Let's just see how this works out. This seat's really snug and nice. Even though there's not a lot of threads left, it's really, really good and snug. But I've got 2 more of these. Again. Now, don't get me wrong, a whole lot of branding being thrown around, but I got these because it seemed like SmallRig had the most complete sort of system down. And these, Amazon had them as an add-on item. And what I want to do with this one is I'm going to mount it here. And of course, nice and tight. Another wrench. So I've got 3 of these. Won't necessarily have to be the final position. This cold shoe, I can contemplate maybe even having it right here, just as long as it doesn't block the tab. And this makes it cool because this whole rig is solid, which means I can have my camera in there, the camera body, while I'm kind of mocking all this stuff up. Here we go. 3 cold shoes on the cage. What's next? Clear the slate. And let's see what we have in here. Handle. It's becoming clearer. Now this handle is a shoe mount. These screws can be undone. You can take this and unthread all of this stuff to adjust it. But what I wanted is something that's going to be tight, give me grip on the camera. So let's see what happens when we go in here. Ta-da! 1. Remember, I do everything in 2. There's 1. Now, why the cold shoe mounts? Well, 1, these are so cheap. And this allows me to orient the handle in multiple directions. If I wanted to change it, take it off and put it on the top, put it this way, right? I can configure a lot of different ways. The only other way to do that is if you would mount a bunch of NATO mounts or quick releases, which are probably going to be bulkier than just this cold shoe. Here's second handle. Again, open this up, slide it in. Grip it down, and now look what we got. A nice 2-handle grip with not a lot of adapters, not a lot of excess room or weight, but plenty of room get my hands in there. There's room for the ports, and that's what I was worried about, is I wondered how wide would this get. And so far this is looking and feeling rather nice. So that's it. And these, interestingly enough, on Amazon, where I got all this from, it still has screw holes to thread more things on top if I wanted. I could put more cold shoe mounts. I could put this over here. It already has a cold shoe mount, so I'm still basically, as I build out, I'm not losing any more adaptability or capability. I'm actually, in a sense, gaining some in a way. And what I had in mind for this one is either it would be an alternative location for a handle. So now I do like this, and this provides your traditional top handle, like so, right? Or I can do a combo with like a grip, or like I said, and this is the good thing with the hot shoe, or the cold shoe rather, the shoe mount, is I can take and put the camera this way. So now I'm doing like the weird driving thing. I've got weight here to here, I can pitch, control these things, direction, all that stuff. Or I can even get a third one and leave the handle up here as a carrying option. And these are very nice and snug. I'm liking these. I'm waiting to see if the paint's going to rub off them, but so far not. So with this, I'm good and solid. Two handles. Should help me to steady things up, because I'll try and find some footage that I shot with just that other rail, and not stable at all. This, I'm hoping, is going to be fully stable. These handles were cheaper, even if I include the shoe mount, than a handle of a different style that would be fixed. Either it had a flange that I would screw on, then I have to unscrew with an Allen wrench to attach it, so breakdown is not going to be as quick. Or it could be even the slide, but the way these handles are made is you only either have to use an intermediate block, which is way more expensive than this shoe mount, or you have to decide which way you want the handle, either with sort of the dovetail going this way along the axis of the handle, or running perpendicular to the handle. So you have to really lock yourself into a purpose and to a specific use when you buy that. Another thing that's nice about these is you can actually take these rings off. You can swap these grips out. I've seen guys put BMX grips on these so they have a little rest for their hand. But this, so far, is not terrible. And you see, this is put together. This is the first time I've ever taken it out of the box. So hopefully, this is the way I spec'd it. So this first video is actually going to probably be at least my first 2 videos. What I wanted to do is just make sure that something got posted that would show you the project that I'm working on. And I'll be posting the second part a little bit later. I wanted to give you guys something to chew on. I wanted to get some feedback on the project. Hope you guys enjoyed this first part. Hope you'll come back for the exciting conclusion, as well as some things, some modifications that I did even after the second. And hopefully this will provide some information for you guys where if you're looking to do something similar or build something similar, you might be able to benefit from what I did. So, see you next time.